woke up in the morning feeling fresh to death. I'm so blessed. Yes, yes. I went to sleep stressed, woke up refreshed.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am getting a COVID test because I have to get a colonoscopy.
Pause, go subscribe.
It's required to have a COVID test first. So I am at Rite Aid and let's see how this goes.
I went to a drive-thru, and at Rite Aid to do the COVID test is the same spot to pick up prescriptions. So I wasn't really sure I was in the right place, but I was. I had to sign some paperwork for my prescription that I had to pick up for the colonoscopy, but you know, it's COVID season. I had to get my own pen, honey. I was like, I'm good. So that's what I'm doing here, signing for my transaction for my copay. Make sure you guys are getting your health screenings. It's important. Got the bowel prep. So that's what I have to drink for the colonoscopy. A half one day and the other half the morning before I go. So the lady tells me to read the instructions, which is on the window. So I'm reading the instructions, which is not really good because the window is tinted. I'm like, come on now, Rite Aid. Y'all got to get a little bit better than this. And she was not helping me at all. So I'm literally reading the instructions, trying to make sure I remember it so that I do my test correctly. All right, I'm getting my specimen and the swab, and here we go. So this test was nasal swab only. I know some tests does both. It's nasal swab and also in the mouth, but this one was for nasal swab only. Well, I looked back because I was going to ask her how far up my nose I should go, but when I turned around, she was gone. So, you know, I'm just going to go for what I know. I looked at the instructions again, and I'm like, okay, you know, let me figure this thing out. So that's the swab, and it's like a little cotton, like a Q-tip, I guess, but just very, very thin. So I put it in my nose, and I go in circular motions for 15 seconds, as the instruction says. I started sneezing, and my nose was burning. So I assumed that I was doing it the correct way. So both nostrils were swabbed. I read the instructions to make sure that I did it properly, and I assume I did. The clerk came back, and so I put the swab in the liquid, but I had to keep reading the instructions because she hadn't come back yet. So I'm still trying to figure out, like, am I doing this correctly? So then she finally comes back to the window. I'm like, hey, you know, what am I supposed to be doing, basically? After I swab my nose, and she's like, break the stick off and put the cap on and stick it back into the little drawer thing down there. And that's it. That's it, and that's all. That is my COVID-19 test. So then I ask her, like, when am I going to get my results back? And she's like, I don't know. Lady, how do you not know? So, you know, I am going to go on record and say, Rite Aid, you need to do better. You absolutely need to do better. But in all, my nose was burning a little bit. I don't know why my nose was burning afterwards, but it was. But I got it done, and we will see what the results are. I'm pretty sure I'm COVID-free, but hey, I don't want to be too cocky. I will say this before I go. I can clearly see why there are a lot of people that are testing for their COVID-19 test and the tests are coming out false. Because if it was anything like what I experienced, where the the clerk is not helping you, you're doing it all by yourself, you're just sticking the swab in your nose and putting it in there, it's going to bring a false test. So this is one of the problems of why COVID-19 has spread the way it has, is because there is not proper people there at the testing sites to help you with your test. That's a huge problem. So I can clearly see how COVID-19 spread as rapidly as it did. But make sure you guys are sanitizing, washing your hands, which you should have been washing your hands before COVID, but clearly people weren't because everyone seemed surprised and now are washing their hands. But honey, that ain't none of my business, okay? I washed my hands, made sure my kids washed their hands, wear your mask. And I realized throughout this video, baby girl's edges are on fleek. Okay, look at her doing her own hair. Go ahead, girl, do you. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you go subscribe. Stop and go subscribe. Go subscribe, like, comment, subscribe to this video and to all of my previous videos. And until next time. Peace.
Peace of mind, even my grace. I'm so blessed. Yes, yes, yes.